G'day and welcome to this week's FriBaT, Friday Beers and Tools with Andy. We've got a real special one today, along with the theme that I'm moving to Tasmania, trying out a whole heap of different breweries and different type of boutique brews in Tasmania. And today we're at Miners Gold Brewery in Beaconsfield. I'm with the owner, Brett. And so thank you very much for having us, Brett.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So can you give us a little bit of the history of Miners Gold?
So I was into home brewing a few years back, and my mates all said to me, Brett, you should sell it. I didn't think it was okay. But anyway, one thing led to another, and I thought I just got involved in the industry, and I love the industry. I just love how it's so connected, and it's not. Another brewery is not in the microbrewery world, is not seen as a competitor, but another person helping sell the message of microbrewing.
Sure.
And
when did you start it up?
So we opened to the public in July 2019.
Yep.
And so the house, where we're sitting at the moment, is the old 1870s house for the chief engineer.
Oh, right.
Which is next door to the Heritage Museum. The main reason we sort of built it here, two things. One, we wanted to make a destination brewery where people could come for a drive and come and explore Beaconsfield. The other thing is that the museum next door, pre-COVID, was pulling about 1,000 people a week.
Wow.
So we figured, having our signage and having a brewery and doing food as well, next door to that world-class attraction, seemed like a great place to put it.
Awesome. Yeah, so many Australians will be familiar with Beaconsfield from all of its history with having the miners trapped in the mine. How many years ago is that now?
I think it was about 13 or 14 years
something
ago.
like that. Yeah. Beaconsfield is a very old mining town in Tasmania, and with the mine closing, Beaconsfield sort of repositioning itself to tourism, and having a microbrewery here I think is awesome. And I'm looking forward to doing some tasting. So thank you very much for having us, Brett. Stu's going to come in and we're going to try some of your samples now, and
I enjoy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so along with Brett inviting us to his microbrewery, I've got my good mate Stuart Connor here, and Stu's pretty much a local now in Beaconsfield. They've been here for a couple of years. And so Stu and I are going to sample the wares from Brett's Miners Gold Brewery. So first up, Stu, we've got the West Street Ale, which is a pale ale. This is a 4.8% ABV and pretty high on the malty scale and pretty high on the hoppy scale as well. Brett's notes are aromas of a fresh baked bread and bittersweet citrus, easy drinking. Named after the street our brewery is on, this is our signature beer and pairs well with strong cheese and fried food. All right, well, happy Friday. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Everyone who's been watching for a while know I love my pale ales. Holy dooly, that's a nice pale ale. Definitely some citrus there.
That's the one I prefer, I think, in the pale ales.
Yeah, that's a 4.6% alcohol volume. Yeah, so that's a really nice pale ale. 100% agree that would go really well with fried food like fish and chips or something like that.
Got a stronger background bite than most pale ales, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit more citrusy, isn't it? Mm. Oh yeah, that's good. I like that. I guess we've got to rate each one, Stu, before you pick up the next one.
Cool.
We got to give it a spanner rating. For me, that's a solid 4.5 out of 5 spanners. What do you reckon?
For a pale ale, yeah.
You're the same?
Give it 4.5.
4.5? Okay, well that's an easy one, 4.5. All right, number 2. Brett's put them in no particular order here. So this is it's called Woodman's Lane, which is an English ale. This one's on tap. So we'll put a list of what's on tap and what's available in cans. And also you probably see there's some nice big jugs behind there, and so that if they don't have them in cans and you're visiting the brewery, you can actually have your jug filled and take it home. That sounds like a bonus to me. Woodman's Ale is an English ale, 3.3% ABV. Again, sort of mid malt and mid hops. Amber with rich malty aroma, balanced bitterness and a floral hop character. A traditional English pub ale, sometimes called bitter, but in fact these are balanced and well seasoned ales. Up your kilt.
You can definitely taste the malt.
Yeah, actually that is certainly not what I would call a bitter. It's actually very balanced. Yeah, that is, it definitely is a traditional sort of English ale.
Smooth for a bit.
Very smooth, yeah. Quite malty, but not overly so. The balanced bit is actually really true. Floral hop character. I don't get as much florals. Maybe because we had the West Street Ale first with the more citrusy. I'm not getting the florals as much. Oh yeah, if you let it sit on the palate for a moment, it definitely has a little bit more of the English ale style.
Mm.
That's really nice too. Being 3.3%, that's classed as a mid, I believe. Yep. And yeah, that's a really nice beer. What do you reckon about that one? Where are you on the Spanner scale there?
I'd give it 4.
That's a 4?
Yeah.
Not as much for me. I'm probably sort of between a 3.5 and a 4 for me. I guess beer drinking is a very subjective and very individual thing. It's still a nice drop, and as I like saying, there's no such thing as bad beer. There's a better beer, but that's nice beer. Okay, on to number 3 on the list. This is a Grape Skin Sour. Brett was just telling me off camera that they do a special brew every year, and this is slightly different every year. This year they've done a refreshing grape-infused ale that is perfect for cider and wine lovers. I'm not a big cider drinker myself, and I don't mind a wine though. This was done in conjunction with Swinging Gate Wines, which is also local, Beaconsfield area. Tart and aromatic. This is 2.7% ABV, so it's another mid to low strength, so it's a good one if you're having a drink and then driving somewhere. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, it's certainly a cider.
I wouldn't have even called it a beer.
Tang, fruity cider.
It's very refreshing though. That'd be really nice after mowing the lawn.
Mm. It's a good one if your wife or your partner doesn't drink beer as well, because it's more like a cider, closer to a cider.
Yep, true. So Brett was just telling me off camera that this has just enough malt in it to be classed as a beer. For me, it's very much more like a cider. It's very nice. As I said, I'm not a cider drinker, but that's very nice, very refreshing. What do you think of that? Mm. Where are you on the Spanner scale for this cidery beer?
A 4 a beer.
A 4.
I'd say, yeah, 4, because it's not technically a beer, but yeah, very refreshing.
Well, technically it is a beer.
Bit like a summer ale.
Yeah.
Up north.
It's like no beer I've ever tried before. It's far more like a cider. All right, on to the next one. Number 4 is a red Session IPA, Indian Pale Ale. This is a beautiful red ale with a deep malt character and heady citrus floral hops. This one mid-range on the malts and a little bit hoppy, and it's 5.2%, so we're getting up there a little bit now. Red IPAs tread the fine line between hops and malt. Ours balanced dried fruit notes from the malt with citrus floral hop aromas. Alrighty, happy Friday again. This is going to be an interesting Friday. Oh yeah. Mm. Oh, that's hoppy. I like that.
Definitely get that stronger, IPA taste.
It does. The Indian pale ales are definitely a stronger flavour than a normal pale ale. 5.2%. That's and the colour is absolutely beautiful. I don't know whether that'll come up on camera, but another one on tap. I should have told you which ones were on cans.
Is it Miners Gold, people?
Yeah. All right, that's a 5 out of 5 for me, and I'm not a big IPA drinker. I do prefer pale ales over IPA, although there are some really nice IPAs on the market now. Well, that's a new favourite for me. I forgot to ask, what's your?
Give it a 5.
You're a 5 as well.
For an IPA, yeah.
We might have to stay here and drink some more of that.
Because of the flavour, mainly. Yeah.
That's a double 5. The next one is obviously a stout. This is their extra stout, strong stout, 7% ABV. I'm glad I'm not driving anywhere today. This is maxed out on the malt and very low on the hops. So being a stout, a nice dark beer. A very serious stout for dark beer lovers, rich, roasty and velvety smooth. A very big, slightly smoky stout which lends itself to pairing with rich foods, though it's a delight by itself, a good finisher. All right, let's try it.
Cheers.
I have to say, I'm not a big stout drinker, but that velvety smooth is actually 100% correct. My biggest problem with stouts is I find that I get very full on them very quickly. They're a heavy beer, not just in this case a 7% alcohol volume, but they're a heavy drinking beer.
Traditionally.
Yeah, and I think you're either a stout drinker or you're not, generally. But I'll tell you what, I could be tempted to becoming a stout drinker. They're probably going to put a lot of weight on me if I do that, which is...
Good on the warm winter nights.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be nice with a steak or a...
I think...
Like a hot pot.
I might have to give it a steak sandwich rating.
Oh, right.
I think so.
A steak sandwich rating.
Yeah, instead of
now I've got to create a new graphic for the video. Thanks, mate. All right, so on your steak sandwich rating, because it's
for a stout, yeah, 4.5.
It's a 4.5.
Strong.
Yeah, I'm actually with you. Like I said, I'm not a stout drinker generally, but that's
1.5 steak sandwich per can.
Don't think I'll need lunch after that. Nah, I'll need lunch. Number 6 is the Ocho Spring Seasonal IPA. I'm looking forward to this, being an IPA drinker. This is a new seasonal IPA for spring, bright, fruity and floral. Okay, maybe I'm not so much of an IPA drinker. Sounds a little bit... Anyway, for spring 2021 we've selected Motueka, hops from New Zealand, Vic Secret from Australia and Centennial from the USA. It's an interesting mix. Low on the malt and very high on the hops with 6.5% ABV. Happy Friday.
Okay.
Very hoppy. Very hoppy.
More so than the earlier one.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost the opposite to the stout, if you know what I mean. The stout is very low in hops and very high in malt, whereas the Ocho is very low in malt and high in hops. Kind of a bit weird after the stout, but still nice. More, drink more.
It's got that IPA bite.
It does.
But it's a different bite to the previous IPA.
Yeah, definitely. Which was the Red Session.
Fruitier maybe?
It is fruitier, most definitely, and a lot more hoppy, which is not a bad thing. For me, that's probably a 4 out of 5 spanners. I don't know, where are you with the Ocho?
I'd give the other one 4, I think. 4.5 for this one.
Is it 4.5? 4.5?
That's a bit better than the other one.
6.5%. It's got a little bit of a kick, so you don't want to be driving anywhere after a couple of these. Yeah, I'm agreed. 4.5. All right. Look at that.
I like that.
Now that is a hazy pale ale.
Yeah. Fog on the Tamar.
Brett tells me this is their biggest seller at Miners Gold. This is called Fog on the Tamar. It's a hazy pale ale with 5.4% ABV. Sort of lowish on the malt and pretty high on the hops again. And I do like a good hazy pale ale, there's no doubt about that. Tropical fruit hop character with a soft bitterness and refreshing finish. In honour of those almost ubiquitous Tamar fog, yes it does get foggy here, a showcase of US and New Zealand hops with tropical fruitiness pairs well with cheese. Actually, yeah, we need to get some cheese as well. Happy Friday. Oh, I'm starting to see why it's popular.
This is my preferred one when I have a meal here as well. And it's just easy to drink.
Yes. Brett was telling me before, much to his sadness, it's not his favourite, but this is the favourite of the one they just can't keep up with. And there's often a Sunday session where a lot of this is drunk. I can see why. Oh yeah.
I'd give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, that's a 5 for me too. Did I mention 5.4%? Yes, I did. Wow, that's awesome. Yep, 5, definitely. All right, the final one on the tap beer list, and bear in mind, we've got all these to sample, not today. Brett's going to send a few of these. Oh, there's Fog on the Tamar and Ocho, yep.
And the Westfleet Ale.
Yep, oh, so there are a few.
We can buy them and take them home.
The last one on the tap beer list is number 8, which is the A-frame Pilsner. It's a German Pils, 4.7% ABV. Malt is fairly low and hops is sort of mid-range. Named for Beaconsfield's most famous landmark, Okay, this is the 8th beer. This is a very traditional German style Pilsner, arguably the most refreshing beer style going. Give it a go. Happy Friday. I do like a good Pils. Biscuity malts.
This is a good one for pre-dinner drinks, I think.
Pre-dinner drinks. You're getting a bit fancy now.
Home, yeah.
I reckon that would be really nice with fish and chips as well. This is one of their canned available beers as well, locally available in Tasmania. When I let you know, come along if you're coming to Tasmania, drop into Beaconsfield and come into Miners Gold Brewery, get a sampler plate like we have done, each, and try them out. The A-frame Pilsner is that's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Where are you at?
I give it a 4.5.
4.5?
Don't normally drink Pilsner, but yeah.
I don't mind a Pils, and
One of the best ones.
that's a really nice Pilsner. Alrighty. There is a number of beers there in that tasting plate that I would like to taste some more of. We haven't even had lunch yet, so probably a good idea for us to have lunch. I'd really like to thank my special guest, Stu, beer taster extraordinaire. Stu and I have been drinking beer together for 35 odd years now.
The ones I can remember.
Remember what?
The times I can remember.
What do I remember? Who are you? Why are you wearing my shirt? Why am I wearing my shirt?
Some random guy gave it to me.
Yes.
GRAYZBILDZ
Yeah.
merchandise.
Remember? Like, share, subscribe. Told you that.
Yeah. Like, share and subscribe to this channel.
I didn't tell him to say that.
It's just great.
Yeah, it's just great.
It's
awesome. Alrighty, thank you very much for joining us on this Friday Beers and Tools with Andy and Stu. It sounds like a comedy duo. I'm the funny one, he's not. Really like to thank Brett from Miners Gold Brewery and for having us today. They are open on Friday, Saturday and Sunday for lunch. Go and have a look at the Heritage Centre, which is right next door. Have a tour through the mine exhibit there and then come and have a meal. They do have a selection of wine for non-beer drinkers as well, so if the missus wants to come along and she doesn't like beer, there's some wine selection there too. They have a pretty good range of food and nibblies to go with the tasting plates that we've just sampled, so please get along and support a local Tasmanian brewer, and this is fantastic. I'll definitely be back. I'm bringing the wife along for a Sunday sesh maybe, and then rowing home.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah. All right, thanks for joining us. Please like, share and subscribe, the usual things. We'll see you next week. See ya. Today. Have you got any water for Stu? He wants to cleanse his palate. Yeah, this is the problem with, yeah, go through it. Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Like
this is the problem with having a professional in with you. You've got to pander to the, unbelievable. All right. Oh, thanks, mate. This is the one that Stu's frightened of. I don't know why. It's only 6.5%, which is 0.5% less than the extra stout. This is the one you reckon's got a bit of a kick. Ocho? Yeah. We're on Ocho, aren't we?
It's an 8.8.
Oh, there's an 8.8. Oh, that must be in a can, is it? No, we haven't had an 8.8. No, this one's only 6.5, Stu. Yeah. Don't be such a sook.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay. This is a very traditional German style... Try that again.